What you just heard is from a voice note that sources say was sent to someone close to suspected Cape Town gang boss Peter Jaggers, who together with an associate William Petersen was reported as kidnapped in Gauteng last year. The two were later found murdered in another province. Hi, I'm Caryn Dolley and I'm an author and journalist at Daily Maverick. Peter Jaggers was the suspected leader of the Terrible Josters gang, which is linked to another notorious gang, the 28s. The case Jaggers is central to points towards international drug traffickers colluding with local gangsters and operating around South Africa and at sea along its coast. Right now in South Africa, drug trafficking is at the heart of an unprecedented law enforcement scandal. Back in July 2025, KwaZulu-Natal's police chief, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, came out with explosive claims that a powerful criminal syndicate propped up by corrupt state officials is operating in the country, and that it's being steered by a drug cartel headquartered in Gauteng, with direct links to South America. A commission of inquiry has been set up to investigate his accusations. Now, when it comes to the Jaggers and Petersen case, let me state up front. Despite being asked for information, the South African Police Service has not yet provided full details about it, and the case is still under investigation. What I want to focus on here are the details I've gathered from different sources and cross-checked where possible with other information. This saga, which sources believe has links to other matters, stretches off South Africa's coast. In March 2024, it emerged that 6 men fishing off the southwest of Cape Point were missing at sea. One of them shares a surname with Jaggers. The fishermen were believed to be from the Western Cape seaside hubs of Hout Bay and Houston. Coincidentally, parts of Houston are known as Terrible Josters' gang strongholds. About 3 days after the fishermen went missing, they were all found unharmed at sea off Cape Point. Here's the thing. It's known that certain container ships drop off massive drug consignments at sea. Local gangs in South Africa's coastal towns then go out on boats to retrieve the drugs to bring ashore. Sometimes the consignments have GPS devices attached for receivers to track them. Sometimes pickup points are arranged in other ways. The Jaggers and Petersen murders fit in here because these may be linked to what happened off the coast in March 2024, when fishermen were rescued. There are strong suspicions that Jaggers and Petersen were overseeing cocaine, potentially worth hundreds of millions of rands, if not more, meant to have been retrieved at sea in March 2024. But instead, it was stolen or lost at sea. Here's Cape Town's Mayoral Committee member for Safety and Security, JP Smith, talking about this very issue.
We have seen in recent times an escalation in the extent of poaching and the equipment that the poachers have available to them. We have seen the lifting of the lid on the challenges that are arising with international, especially South American cartels, starting to do large heroin, cocaine shipments through our coast.
According to sources, the cocaine belonged to a cartel with deep ties to Europe and connections to Colombia. When the shipment went missing and no compensation was paid for it, the cartel was furious. The story continues that because of this, Jaggers and Petersen were later called up to Gauteng to answer for what happened. On the 30th of June 2024, they flew from Cape Town to Johannesburg. This detail matters because if they'd actually stolen the cocaine, it's unlikely they'd have gone there. They would have known the danger waiting for them. Soon after landing in Gauteng, Jaggers and Petersen disappeared. By early July, a kidnapping case was registered with police in Jaggers' home city, Cape Town. A leaked police report said that Jaggers, I quote, was apparently picked up by foreigners from Bulgaria/Serbia, end quote. The report said the incident was gang and drug related. Other leaked allegations show that a 50 million rand ransom was demanded for Jaggers' release. This is one of the voice notes apparently sent to someone close to Jaggers to try and get them to pay up.
Hey, we're not playing. Your husband is on way to South America. Then you guys have 24 hours to return the stuff. Or we will come after your families, you know? We're not playing. We're gangsters from Colombia, entonces no estamos jugando, ¿ah? We cartel, we don't forgive you.
In October 2024, 3 months after Jaggers and Petersen were last seen, 2 badly decomposing bodies were found in the Klip River in the Free State. The bodies were bound in plastic and chains. When unwrapped, it was discovered the hands were cuffed and feet fastened with cable ties. One body also had a telltale tattoo across the back that said, "International Crook." I learned that Peter Jaggers had this tattooed across his back. Police later confirmed the two bodies pulled from the river in the Free State were his and William Petersen's. In August 2025, the Hawks, South Africa's priority crime fighting unit, told me their investigation was still ongoing and they had no knowledge of links to Colombian traffickers. Now, this sparks some questions around the voice clips. Meanwhile, this case has some common areas with another unfolding story, and these point to trafficking at sea. We need to rewind a little here. About 3 weeks after Jaggers and Petersen were last seen, police in the Western Cape intercepted a car with a rubber duck boat on the trailer in the coastal town of Still Bay on the 19th of July 2024. Cocaine worth 252 million rand was discovered in the rubber duck. I've seen a police photograph of the cocaine. It shows 14 bags containing cocaine bricks bound in plastic and tape, suggesting there were attempts to waterproof them. This also suggests the bags were possibly retrieved or destined for a drop-off at sea. Since this July 2024 interception and up until recently, about 6 suspects, local and as well as from other countries, have been arrested in this case, which is still under investigation. Now, criminal charges linked to those arrests do not relate to what happened to Jaggers and Petersen. What's clear, though, is that both the Jaggers and Petersen case and the Still Bay cocaine case seem to link to the sea, the Western Cape, and Gauteng. And as we know, both cases are still under investigation, so we may see more connections to other incidents like other drug interceptions emerge. What does all this mean? Scrape aside all the suspicions, theories, and counter-theories, and the fact remains that locally bolstered international drug networks are active across South Africa. These extend into just about everything, including the sea. We still don't know the definite motive behind the murders of Peter Jaggers and William Petersen, but their fate again reiterates the deadly nature of organized crime cutting across South Africa. If you appreciate this work, support our journalism by becoming a Maverick Insider. You'll find the details in the caption below.